Hello, folks. Is everybody doing okay? How many people we got? How we doing on the numbers? Welcome, everyone. Um, Howard Benjamin, bless up. Carlos, respect. Mr. Makuk, Mr. Brian, how's it going, gentlemen? Welcome, family. The second iGoat chat of the year. We were supposed to have a guest. However, that didn't materialize. So we're gonna just wing it. Do a Actually, it's an opportunity for me to get some things off my chest, really. Some things that I see going on the different forums, and I ignore them, and I just think tonight is a night to just like start of the year, clear up some things, talk about some things that bothers me, some things I don't like, some things I do like, and talk about what we do and how we do what we do. So um tonight may be one of those nights where people not gonna like me. One of those nights I'm gonna say things that gonna upset some people, but I haven't done one of those in a while. So maybe this is the night that I'm gonna get a call in about 2 hours or something, or a call tomorrow asking me what's up with me. But um yeah, first and foremost, I know. Let's start off with questions. If y'all have any questions for us, for me, because since I'm the sole host tonight, I got the beautiful Miss Trudy in the background. She's not gracing us this evening. And off the top, remember to share the link. And for the newcomers, this is iGoat Chat, where we talk all things goat specifically, mostly. We talk small business operations also, helping small farmers. And most of our discussion happen around the Jamaica goat business. So um, certain things I may refer to there in particularly of Jamaica reference, right? They're about our experience here in Jamaica. So keep that in mind if you're not from Jamaica. Keep that in mind that some of the references are from our experience here in Jamaica. So here we go. Um, I will. I know a lot of people may have questions about the imports. Let's give you guys an update. The animals are here. Animals are on the island in quarantine. They all seem healthy, safe. The the VSD vet Dr. Jackson. We got to give her enough props and enough thanks for her diligence and her support and her help. She did an excellent job keeping us in the loop, giving us a checklist of things we need to take care of or make sure certain things are done. And she was on site to receive the animals, and the animals are in good health and they are in quarantine for 2 weeks. We won't be able to see them. In fact, we didn't see them. We saw them in the crates, but that's about it. Dr. Jackson was nice enough to send us some videos and pictures from the facility showing us that the animals are lively, look happy, they're eating, they're drinking, and that's about it. So we'll ask periodically over the next 2 weeks um, how they're doing, and if there's any issues, we have a vet on call. So that's the update on the animals. And keep us in your prayers, give us positive vibes, because we're trying to do this um, to help our operation, but to help the sector on a whole move forward. We're trying to move the needle forward, and we're doing it our way based on what Carbon Ranch needs are. And I'll say that without apology, because when you're gonna put input into your business, you got to put the input in based on what the business need, not based on what other people say, not based on what other people think, right? So our focus is milk, so we brought in milk animals, dairy animals, not show animals. They are not show animals. Do not expect to see some big fancy boar goats. They are not. They are Sanans with, you know, dairy structure. In the words of, you know, my amazing Trudy, why them bonisa? Yep, I swear, yes, that is the words from her mouth. Um, but uh, we've been fortunate to see full Shannon operations and know that that's how they look. That's how they're supposed to look, right? So um, these animals are healthy, they're lively, they're coming from an healthy environment, they've passed all the tests, they've cleared USDA test and all that stuff. So they're good to go. They just got to get climatized to Jamaica and Carbon Ranch environment, and boom, I'm putting them into production. So that's that. Yes, yes. So what? She soon sees the milk. Yeah, she soon said that. She soon say exactly this. When these goats start producing milk, her she gonna like, yeah man, them bony goat yeah can produce milky man. Yeah, yeah. But we're pleased. There we're pretty excited to move forward with these new inputs, and I can't give Trudy enough praise, people, because the administrative part of this whole thing, it's all her. I just like she just say, yo, talk to Ray about the goats, all the paperwork, all the talking to the people, VSD, freight forwarder, the 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 um the guy in the US that facilitate organizing all this stuff for us. Trudy was the point person. I only dealt with the animals. I only was sent pictures and videos for approval. Not that she didn't consult me and things, but really and truly, we have to give her enough props. Okay, all right, I'll give you like that's kind of cool for the time of year for you. You know what I mean? You need this big shot. That enough fun. That's what you need for that. I'll tell you guys, she 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 pulled off like an amazing, I don't know how to explain it, but to see her do what she does is it's amazing. So I can't stop praise her enough on how she navigate this and get it done. You know what I mean? So I want you guys to give her a round of applause to me. And I'm talking her into doing a show that lays out the the whole thing step by step. I'm trying to talk her through. I know she did something before, but no, once the animals get here and on the farm and everything is settled down, I want her to do a show that goes step by step with graphics and everything. And that's the last time we're going to do that. After that, we're selling it. You should see the look I get. But I am not joking. I am dead serious that after see the work go into it and what she does and everything that we had to do to land them, I think it's a viable business. I told TJ that too. Like I told him that before. I told TJ it could be a viable business. I don't know how many people want to import goats into Jamaica, so I can't say it's a viable, but you need people who understand the nuances and the red tape and the necessary documents that are required and what they mean. You need somebody. You definitely need somebody to navigate that for you if you have no idea. You know. So, with that said, yes, that's where we are. We're in quarantine phase, and once the animals are released and get here, y'all will get pictures and videos. And thank you all for your support. Thank you guys for your prayers and your well wishes, and all the big up them, Natty, Chelsea, Natty, and the whole family, whole iGoat family, Howard, what I mean, Mr. Henry, Peter McCook. The list goes on and on of people who, give us a word of positivity and prayerful way. And we're doing this and we're sharing every step of the way with our iGoat family. As small or as big as it may be, we're gonna share it all. And so people know what they're getting into if they choose to do it, or if they choose not to do it, they have information on why not. Speaking of that, let me transition into some of the things that irks me over the last little while when it comes to these different platforms that I have to read things on and see things on. So importation of animals is the thing now, right? 2 years ago, it was AI. Now it's importation of animals. And I've seen the comments, I've seen the posts where people are talking about whether importation is the right way to go, or people are just doing it because they can do it. I'm going to answer the question for Cabo Ranch on behalf of Cabo Ranch as a team. And I've said this here on the show before. We're importing animals, and I'm making this known to everybody who are going to make their comments and drop their post. We're importing animals to suit Cabo Ranch needs. From we started the farm, we wanted milk animals. We tried with what's available. We figured, based on assessment over 2 years, it's not the way to go. We want animals that produce more milk. So for the people them who, I'll keep it in layman terms, who throw shade or make comments about what we're doing it based on Carbon Ranch needs. We're not doing it to show off by nobody, because those goats definitely can't show off by nobody. More than when they're producing milk, I may post some pictures of those others and say, yo, milk truck back up. Yeah, that I can show off on. But these animals are definitely not fat animals to show off on, to show up and tell nobody nothing. They look like white native goats. But what I'm trying to tell people is, we get the animals, we went and seek animals that suit our needs to help move our business forward. Um, and we didn't keep it a secret. We went over our production on the show for the last 2 years and explained to people why we think we have to make the move, because the resources and time that we put into the goals that we currently have, we should get triple the production, right? I've been told, oh, you can breed it into them. I don't got 5 years to see the results, and that could be a hit or miss. I'm not a breeder. I'm not a genetics scientist or whatever. I don't. I'm just a guy who is executing our production, and I want the animals that's gonna suit that production. I am not a scientist to create it. I'll leave that to somebody else. However, I know animals that produce a lot of milk are available. Maybe not in Jamaica, but they available outside of Jamaica. So we go out there and get them. I am not saying this was an easy thing. I'm not saying this was a cheap thing. What I'm saying to you is, we did it because that was what our business need to move forward. I'm not by any means telling anybody that this is easy or this was cheap. It is not. It was a serious investment in our business. But without that investment, we're a farm fool. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Without that investment, we're a farm fool. We should not be spending an hour and a half dealing with goats, milking goats, doing all that, and getting a third of what we're supposed to get. And I've talked about research all the time. People know I do a lot of research. I went to visit the dairy farm and document a whole lot, show it in a 3-part video to show that, wow, the animals that we're using for dairy production is not productive, it's not efficient. It's a basically it's a workshop. It's practicing how to milk a goat, how to harvest the milk, how to take care of the milk, how to store the milk. That's what that was. What we're looking to get into is commercial goat dairy production. That's what we're looking to do. And that's why we went and do what we did. Um, these animals will not be competing at Denby by any means, any stretch of the imagination. But they could be an exhibition if they're in production by then. If there's goats that have kids and have milk, we wouldn't think twice about showing the public, showing the greater goat sector what a great dairy goat look like, what they could do. Is there an issue with the audio? I see a question or discussion there. No. Um, so, with that said, I hope that I clear up this whole thing. If somebody have questions about the importation of animals, and I'm giving Cabo Ranch position. That's why we do it. We do it because that's what our business need. Um, and we transparency and everything is over here. We've been telling people that we want to do it. We're telling people we're investigating it. We told people we are doing it. And now we're telling people it's done. All right. We are at the stretch. We bend the corner. We are coming down the 100-meter stretch. And just keep just send us positive vibes so we don't run out of steam and we get to the end and get these animals on the farm, and we can start showing people what we have, what the potential is when it comes to these dairy animals. Because y'all know we strongly believe that in Jamaica you can't really have a goat operation unless you're strictly genetics like Mackie and Dr. Graham and Oral and Al Archer and those guys. And everybody can be breeders. But if you logically think about it, goat production and a small meat production with some dairy, and you're in business. You're in real goat production business. That's our opinion. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? Um, Trudy has a whole long list of things that her goat production can do for her. And we've talked about many of them on the show. So, but I don't see any of them happening without some milk. Right? Yeah, I don't see any of it happening without some milk, a lot of milk. So that's that. So let's just get that out of the way. There's no importation animals over here for bragging rights or none of that. The only bragging rights we want to have over here is a successful operation, and we can brag about how much milk we produce. We can brag about how much people we teach how to get this done. We can brag about all of that stuff. But bragging to me have nice goat and you not have nice goat is not part of this. It's not part of it. So, um, next thing, and this one is gonna irk some people. I like this Milky Way comment. Yep, the Milky Way. Real talk, Mr. Henry. That's it. Um, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna upset some people. Goat farmers, I agree that we need to know a lot about our goats. We need to understand the nuances and differences in ailments, whether it's something that is urgent, something that's an emergency, or something that just needs some local treatment over time. We need to understand the differences. But I'm going to say this, and this is going to piss off people. I don't think us as good farmers should be giving our peers advice as if we're vets. I've watched it, I've ignored it for the most part. But as iGoat chat that we talk about everything that's related to goat operation and small businesses, I can't ignore it anymore. It is not the right thing to do. It's very dangerous to be telling other farmers, give a shot at this, give a shot at that, because you don't know the whole situation. If a man say, yo, my goat if I want to post a picture and says, yo, look at this goat, and you see that it's an abscess, that's a different story of how to handle an abscess, the safety aspect of it, the sanitation aspect of it. But if somebody comes and tell you my goat's down, my goat's not getting up, you can't just randomly tell this person to give the goat a shot of antibiotics and this and that, some salt and single Bible and those things. You don't know what's wrong with the goat. Seek professional help. Give the advice you should give is develop a relationship with a vet. Take a video of what's going on. If you see any symptoms, whatever, send it to your vet and say, this is what's happening. What can I do to keep this goat alive until you can visit the goat? Because some of these things happen at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. You're not going to expect a vet to come out in bed and come see you at that time. But he may be able to say, do XYZ to keep the goat alive till tomorrow I get there at 10 o'clock or something, or 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever. I've seen it over and over, people giving veterinary advice. I don't think people should be doing that. And I've ignored it and I haven't said anything. And I go chat and I go chat group, I delete them. I delete them because I don't think it's the right thing to do. Right? I don't think you should give people veterinary advice. You should advise people to have a relationship with the vet. Do things like take a video or a picture, send it to your vet, let your vet tell you. Because there's so many different things that could be wrong with an animal that you don't see as because you're not a trained doctor, you're not a trained vet. There are simple things like if somebody see the goat, if you send a video or post a video saying seeing the goat with, the goat is skinny, the goat is the coat of the goat is rough, then the advice of check for worm, the Famacha score technique, all that stuff, of course that's helpful. But the administration of medication, people should refrain from doing that. Because number one, 99% of the medications are based on weight. They're all based on weight. So a shot of this or shot of that doesn't say much. It's a dangerous situation. There's something going on out there that the security force don't like. We're on the farm, guys. Back to the original iGoat chat, back on the farm. So anything can go on. I don't know what's going on out there. Just give us a sec to figure it out. Um, let me let me get let me turn on all these lights out there. Okay, Mr. Henry, yes, I agree that you may have a similar situation. But here are the variables, right? Your situation may look similar, but the weight of your animal may be different. The age of your animal may be different. The situation surrounding the how the animal got sick may be different. So that's why I'm saying refrain from telling somebody to give medication. You can suggest, you can say, hey, I had a similar situation and antibiotics help. But saying, yo, give them 2 ml or 5 ml of this or 6 ml of that, and then do this and then do that. Nah, I don't think it's the right thing. I think people get away with it because nobody's holding anybody accountable. But I'm not for it, because at the end of the day, if something goes wrong with that person animal, there's no repercussions. There's nothing the person's gonna get out of it. You know what I mean? And I don't think we should be just giving out these advice and we're not trained vets. The whole idea of helping farmers as a group is support. As I said, if somebody posts a goat and say, yo, goat just have kid, there's no milk. Of course, we all had similar situation. We can share our experiences. However, telling people to administer medication or certain things, we shouldn't be doing it. We shouldn't be doing it. We can share our experience. We can share, I've been through it. You may need to bottle feed the kids. Don't wait to bottle feed the kids, because the longer you wait, the harder it gets to bottle feed the kids. If your experience is, if a mother is not in good condition and have kids, she doesn't have no milk, then she's not going to produce milk if kids are sucking her, because she's focused on getting herself healthy. Those are the information you need to share. What is wrong with the goat? That's a vet thing. If everything seems okay with the goat and it's just maybe a nutrition thing, then of course you can say, look, make sure the goat's eating, make sure the goat is well fed, make sure the goat is taking in water, all that stuff. But when it comes, oh, give them a shot of antibiotics, give them some oxytocin, give them some, no, I don't agree with it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who quietly agree with my position. So Dr. Dennis said, yes, she agree. I see. This is what I like. There's different opinions here. You know what I mean? Time lapse. How long is a vet's gonna take to respond? For example, bloating. So if somebody comes on and posts a goat and say, "Look, my goat is looking like this, whatever," and 10 people say, "Yo, that's bloat. This is what you do. This is what you do." Does that make it bloat? What are the symptoms of bloat? Shouldn't we get these answers, the answers to these questions before we give advice? I think that's the problem that I'm talking about. Shouldn't there be some standard questions answered before you can say do this or do that? Darren, I am not, Darren. I'm telling you, I'm not saying don't share information. What I am saying is, do not, my opinion, don't tell people to administer medication. Don't say give 5 ml of this, 5 ml of that. You don't know the weight of the animal. You don't know the condition of the animal. That all these medications are based on weight. All of them. I can go grab every one medication I have right now, and all of them is based on weight. So 5 ml, 6 ml, 3 ml, whatever, you don't know the weight. I know we're gonna have major disagreement on this because, as I said off the top, it's gonna piss off some people. What I'm gonna say, what I'm discussing at this moment, and the reason I bring it up is because I know people personally who takes advice off of these forum and lose animals. And they lose animals because people really don't know what the true situation is. They're going off a video, or they're drawing their own conclusion, or they're making their own, what do you call that when you get sick and somebody tell you what's wrong with you? Yeah, they make their own diagnosis online based on a picture or video. And people either overdose animal with medication, or they administer the medication incorrectly, so it's not efficient. It didn't work. You know, there's intramuscular, there's intravenous, like under the skin. There's all these ways of administering a medication for it to be effective. But when a man say, "Yo, give a shot at this, give a shot at that," how do you do it? Is this under the skin? Is this in the muscle? Where is it, in the neck? Is it in the back leg? Is it, where do you do this where do you administer this medication? Is it an oral drench? Like, well, how do you do it? There's so many different aspects to this. And nobody can tell me, say, I lie, me I tell them. I say, yo, people just say, give a shot at this, give a shot at that. I lie, me I tell. If I lie, me I tell me in the comments. Hmm? Okay, Dr. Denny says, the animals can have adverse reaction to medication, and the farmer doesn't know what needs to be taken to counteract that adverse reaction. These are the things I'm talking about. These are the things where I'm saying, do not give, do not prescribe medication to other people, animal online, because we're not vets. You know what I mean? And and Darren, I'm telling you, ignorance is no excuse, bro. Ignorance is no excuse. I don't think, if you have goats or caring for animals, everybody have credit on them phone and data on them phone or Wi-Fi them yard. So they can look up things just like everybody else. They can develop a relationship with a vet just like everybody else. And why I'm so tough on this is because people just like, yeah, 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 man, we can do it, yeah, but nobody takes the effort to do it. Nobody did the extra mile for call a vet and beg him for come through. They just have the same argument, can't afford a vet, can, but they all buy this to feed. The both feed companies provide vet service visits. Develop a relationship with one of them. Let them come through once a month. Ask them to visit once a month. If they're passing by in your area, let them come through. Let them do an assessment. Ask them, yo, can I call you, and or can I text you with if I have an issue, and you tell me if something, if it's urgent or what I can do. That's what we did. We didn't have a vet on call. We established a relationship with the vets where we could send them a picture, send them a video, tell them, "Oh, this is what's going on. Is it urgent? What do I need to do? This is what I'm looking at. And they could give me advice to keep the animal alive or to actually help the situation. I'm not saying that people should be spending money on vet because you have free vet service. It is, see, Darren says, don't get me wrong, I hear people giving some advice that make you cringe. Those are the ones I'm talking about. They are not good. They are dangerous. And people are spending good money on animals. And then they're taking advice from quasi vets. People were, you know what I mean? I'm not saying organic things don't work, because I grew up watching my grandmother and them do it. But how long does it take to work? How long is it effective for? Back then, my grandma would spot I go to diarrhea and some single Bible and salt and thing. We do it and she do it for how many days straight. But if I have 30 goats and 10 of them end up with diarrhea because something in the pen or something caused that, how am I gonna keep? How am I gonna do that? How much single Bible tree me need for deal with that? That's all I'm saying. Howard says some vets only run to some people sometimes. Farmers reach out and no answer. Um, that could be true. I can't speak on that because I never had that. No, you know what? I lie. I've had vets that don't even pay me no mind. Don't act like say them don't even get my message. And I pay them. One vet me tell say dog I got dead and him not even fought for me. I guess him just assume say, okay, dog I got dead. So what can I do? Dog never died though. But I see your point, Howard, that's true. But it doesn't mean we don't try. Doesn't mean we don't try. Dr. Young, take that hand fast. Dr. Young, ada you batak, Dr. Young, ada you batak. Dr. Young, ada you batak, ada you. Ada you. But it's a pet peeve, and I have ignored it for quite a while. I've had conversations off the record about it with people. And the reason why it bugs me is because in order for us to move forward as a sector and share information that's going to help people, the information should be good. The information should be effective. The information should actually help people. So if we're going to be consistent in how we help people, I think not telling people, not giving people instructions that are not fully vetted. Don't, as I said, a shot at this, a shot at that don't mean nothing really. Because we don't know the weight of the animals, we don't know the history of the animal, we don't know if there's any allergic reaction, as Dr. Denny pointed out. We know none of these things. Sharing our experience and say, look, we had a similar situation, and this is what the outcome was, but do not tell somebody to administer medication. Okay, I'll give you this. You can say, yo, that animal is gonna need antibiotics. Yeah, but you're not the vet, so how much antibiotics and how often the antibiotics should be administered? How many days in a row? So I'm saying, um, 1 second. Send it. Send the link. Yeah, I don't think the practice of giving people instructions to administer medication is the right practice. It's not the right practice. Especially on these, like you can do it to your friend. You can, I call Maki and say, yo, this is what's up. I can't get a hold of any vet right now, whatever. This is what I'm dealing with. And he'll just tell me straight how big is for, and that's the key. He always asks me, is it a young kid? How big is the goat? How old is the goat? All those things before he tells me anything. Those are the questions he asks me. Is it a mother? Is she have kid on her? All these questions he asks. And this is a personal relationship that I trust his input. But he has 10 questions that he'll ask me before him tell me what to do. That's what I'm talking about. He vetted the whole situation, and I'm calling him as a friend. I never posted by Instagram, on Facebook, or posted anywhere. I'm calling him as a friend I trust and say, yo, this is what I'm dealing with. What do you think? And he has 10 questions for me. So 1 second, guys. I think we're trying to work out getting professional advice. Hmm? Whoa. You got it? Yeah, see if she can get in. I was trying to get professional input here. Because I am not a vet. I'm just an annoyed little goat farmer from country. Mr. Henry says the shake frying pan and mixed saltwater solution, I think, needs bashing as well. I ain't bashing nobody's organic thing. All I can tell you is from my experience and my research, the organic shit works slower. And it may not be as effective because everything works based on animals' weight, how effective it is. All right. So I got Dr. Young in the green room, and I'm going to bring her on so she can put some clarity to this. Dr. Young,
Hello, are you hearing me?
welcome.
Oh, what am I doing wrong?
Can you
Oh,
guys hear Dr. Young? No? Huh? Speak again, Dr. Young, because I don't think they can hear you.
all right. Like you're trying to stress me
You
out
guys hear?
tonight.
Yeah, I need to hear her.
Let me see what this is.
Hello?
Yep, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, but I can't hear her.
I don't know what that's
I'm
supposed
not
to
hearing her. 1 second.
go. How does this thing
Let me.
go? Hello.
Okay, all right, I got you.
Oh, I had to press
Um,
something.
yes. So, Dr. Young,
Yes.
tell me, am I crazy? am I crazy to
I
be
just
having this discussion and being a little annoyed by
no,
these
I'm not annoyed. I just walked in on
descriptions?
the conversation and saw the vet bashing. So um,
There's no vet bashing over here.
I was
I
eating
thought this.
dinner with
I
my
thought
dad.
that. No, I thought this was a vet.
I was
I thought this
no,
was a
I was
vet
eating with my
promo.
dad. So um, I have a few things to say actually, and I don't know if
Go
farmers
ahead.
like what I'm going to say, but
No, whether they like it, they don't like
but
half the
I
things
believe
I
we
have
need
to say.
balance, just like Howard said, Darren said, we need balance to the conversation, right?
Hmm.
Um, I can tell you personally, I have been to vet farms,
Yeah.
or people call me privately, and
Hmm.
nobody wants to pay. Nobody wants to pay. They come to my place, or in the middle of the night, and if I see you, well, it's emergency time, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
No, they
Yeah.
don't want to pay. So how do you justify a vet's time? It's a profession. Let's just get to the point. I'm not doing this. I love animals, yes. I love my animals too. But it's a profession and we need to respect it. And I think there's not enough respect for the profession and what we do, and everybody wants to be a Dr. Google and a PhD vet. So if you want to do that, then I'm the wrong person to talk to.
Everybody wants to what? Doctor Google
Dr.
and
Google and PhD vet, right? The
PhD.
fact
Yeah.
is,
Okay.
for instance, I know some people here. Howard is an electrician, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would I go decide to go and hang up electrical stuff all over my house because, yeah, it's that simple? I could go learn it on YouTube. I'd be rather stupid, and then my house burns down, and then I want to know why, right?
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm not saying all vets are perfect. That's not what I'm saying. But I know a lot of the vets I speak to, they're just not interested anymore because the farmers are not paying. Not all of them, but
Mm-hmm.
farmers are not paying. And then I ask the question, if your child is sick, which doctor is coming to your house? You take your child to the vet, to the clinic, right? So why is, as a farmer, are you not responsible for taking your animal to the clinic? So if people can
That
answer me those questions, then we can have a conversation.
that is true. That is a valid point. That is a valid point. However, and I think it was you, Dr. Young or Dr. O'Brien, actually said to me one on this show that some of these animals that we have, you have to factor in the cost of saving the animal, which is the vet's fee, versus what the animal is actually worth. Now, if you have a native animal or a graded animal that's 30, 45,000, whatever, versus a $250,000 animal, the 250,000, $300,000 animal, it's a no brainer to take that animal to the vet. However, if I have a $35,000 animal and the vet say, look, what I need to do to save this animal is going to cost you $30,000, I have to think about that option because I could actually replace that animal with a healthy animal and don't
Agreed, it's a
and I'll
business
be in the same
decision.
position.
Agreed, it's a business decision. But
Yeah.
it's also, you have to look at something called duty of care, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you
Yeah.
decide to own animals or have children, that's your decision. You make that conscious decision. Because when you're selling them, you're not cutting your price, are you?
No.
Right? So it's
Well,
called duty
I
of care
I
to
I
because
do I do, but people don't
you have
like
a
what I do. Yeah.
responsibility. That's how I feel. I feel very passionate about it. And I'm going to tell you flat, there are times when I'm at work and I can't come to my farm or whatever. I have my work to do. And guess what? I have to call Dr. Cadogan and pay Dr. Cadogan, or I pay a taxi to carry my animal to the vet and then get it seen about. I have done that
Yeah.
because you know what? Duty of care. One, and the animal is valuable to me,
Yes, it is.
right?
I'm
When you
you know, we've
when you
had animals, we've had animals that are really sick that we have to weigh out the what it's gonna cost. Some animals doesn't matter what it costs. Like we're gonna get it sorted. You know what I mean? Our little shepherd spent a month in the hospital because he got beat up, and to us that's like it's worth it. And then we've had older mothers like Wheezy last in over the holidays. She have kids, she end up with mastitis, all that stuff, and
Mm.
the vet says no, there's nothing you can do. This animal is gonna have a recurring problem, or she may not even recover from this at this point. We had to decently put her down reluctantly, but she already paid and gave us a lot. So sometimes in business, you have to make these decisions. And you have a large investment in a $300,000 buck or a $250,000 buck, put the animal in a vehicle and take it to the vet. That's how I see it. I don't think you should be taking prescription from Facebook groups. I don't think so. I strongly believe that it's not a good practice.
I don't know. I mean, I am. I'm not. At no time am I life. I comparing a child's life to a goat's life. That's not what I was implying. I'm strictly speaking about what is called duty of care. That there is some
Yes.
responsibility of the person who either owns the animal or has a child. I'm not. At no time would I compare a child's life to a goat's life. That's not what I'm saying or implying at any time. Right? Um, if I would believe that, and I think farmers need to understand there's a lot of cases that for the best outcome, the animal needs to come into a clinic, right? Can't do
Yes.
it on farm. They just can't do it on farm, right? And again, can somebody answer me the question? Everybody who's, everybody, and I know it's not necessarily directed at me. I'm not taking it personal.
Hmm.
Um, can you answer the question? Do you believe that vets should do their work for free?
No,
So that's
that's
my
a
point.
solid no.
But farmers do not, some farmers, many farmers do not want to pay. And I
Then they
often
shouldn't
say, and
receive the
somebody said I
service.
have my big job at Nutrimix. Well, whatever. I don't take that personally anyway, but whether I
Who
work at
said
Nutrimix or
who
not,
said that? Let me find
somebody
this
said
because I
it.
wanna.
I think Miss
Oh,
Henry said, um,
oh, you're in a good paying job. The comments say
but
you're in a
most
good paying
farmers
job
are
at
security
Nutrimist.
guards.
How many
I don't know
farmers
what
are
that means.
security
I don't
guards?
know why you say that. Because you know what I'm going to say? All right, let me give you some situations that I have dealt with. And some of the guys who are listening here, they know exactly that situation because two or three of you, they called me that night. This guy calls at a farmer calls at 5 o'clock, says he has a Nubian mother that he paid. I don't know why he needs to tell me how much he paid. I really don't care. $250,000 for this Nubian mother. She's pregnant. She can't have the baby. The baby's not passing. I said to him, okay, so either it is to pull the baby out, and this is 5 o'clock this evening, right? In the evening. I asked him when this started. He said about 11 o'clock in the morning. I said, and you're going to call me now at 5? First of all, I'm a female, so there's certain places I'm not going. And second of all, I'm saying, now you're going to call? So I said to him, you can bring the animal to me and I will deal with it for you because we do live in Jamaica. You have to understand it's a security issue, right? You don't have a drive. I said, can you not hire a taxi? Well, that will cost him money. So I said, okay, well, I don't know how to help you, sir. And apparently one of the guys who's on here is friend, a farmer friend next door. So he says to the guy, the other farmer now calls me and says, Doc, I'm willing to pick up the animal for him and bring it to you. I said, okay, no problem. Telling you though, I'm going to charge him, right? This is now going to be 7 o'clock at night. I said, okay, we're looking anywhere from $12,000 if I just have to pull it out right? Dependent, and can go up to $20,000 if I have to do a C-section, dependent, right? Because it costs me money to do a C-section. I have sutures to use, all of that, right? And that was, I'm telling you, Ray, that's cost price. That's cost price. And I'm making no money. I'm just doing it. You know what the man said to the guy? He don't have money for that. Now I said to him, okay, let's look at it another way. If the animal lives, right? If the animal lives, she's gonna die if I don't do something. If she lives, how about you give me a kid or something like that? Or I said to him, we could work out something with a payment plan. And the man tell me flat out he don't have money for that. So what do you do then now? Tell me. I would love farmers to tell me that situation. How are we supposed to help with that?
Were you at home?
Yes, I was at home.
Yeah, you go share your food, eat it, take a shower, and
Oh,
enjoy
yeah,
the
yeah,
rest
yeah.
of your evening. Like, this is business. And I know people are gonna say, yo, you're cool, but this is a business. And if
I'm
you
not cool.
expect people to take their professional skills and apply it for you for free, then figure out a way to compensate them.
That's
This
it.
is
This
not,
payment
this is
plans.
not, yeah, this is, you can't just keep asking for gimme, 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 gimme. What do you give?
But that's what I'm saying, Ray. You can have
Yeah.
a conversation. Say, Doc, maybe I can't pay you all of that. Can I pay you in installments? Can I pay you piece? Can I whatever? Sometimes I've gotten paid with hands of bananas. I've gotten paid with melon. I mean, come on. But if you don't even value the animal, well, I am sorry. I have another way of looking at it. Well, then I don't really care either. I'm sorry. I could say I'm cold and people could say I'm cold, but I
But
don't find
Mr. Henry wants you to know that he wasn't taking a shot at you. He was just making a general comment that
no, but that's what I'm saying.
sometimes.
No, I said to him, I'm not
Mhm.
taking it personal.
Yeah.
I'm saying to him, though, I don't care if you're a security guard. It doesn't matter. It's about a discussion and establishing a relationship with your vet to say, okay, I can't pay you now, but maybe I can pay you $10,000 every month.
Yeah.
Come on. Don't tell me there's always a will, there's a way. That's all I mean, Mr. Henry. There's a will, there's a way. But
I
I
agree. I
find
totally agree with
find
you.
farmers are not taking, some farmers, when I say farmers, I'm generalizing,
Mhm.
don't want to take responsibility for what's happening on their farm and taking responsibility that sometimes you have to pay. When you're selling the animal, you're complaining, but sometimes you have to spend money too.
Yeah. I think the way the sector is going, knowing that there's better genetics available, more information available, more people coming in taking it serious as a business, these people are gonna go to the wayside, or they're just gonna stay there as some backyard farmers acting like said they might do something big. Are they important? They're gonna go to the wayside. Strongly believe that, because there's people coming in that are putting in serious resources, serious commitment to the sector, and these people that want free services or want to take advice from a Facebook group and think that they're running a real operation, they're gonna fade to the wayside, because it's just the way it's going. There's no way you should expect somebody to come and do all that after hours for free. It ain't gonna happen in nowhere, in no world, in no situation that's gonna happen. So those people, that goat's gonna die, unfortunately. But whose responsibility it is? Whose fault is it? You can't put it on the vet, because you know Dr. Young and you can call Dr. Young, or you're gonna go out there now and say Dr. Young didn't help you, or Dr. Patrick didn't help you, or Dr. McHugh didn't help you, or Dr. Mato didn't help you, or whoever else you're dealing with didn't help you. How about help yourself? Help me help you. Like Dr. Young say, yo, give me a kid. In the future, I'm help you. Pay me in installments, I'm help you.
Think about it, Ray. Imagine, and let me tell you the truth, I'm going to be very honest here. I
Yeah.
would have done the C-section And if it is that she had 2 kids, I would say to him, okay, give me one. Honestly, that's a payment, right? And he gets
Yeah.
another one. But then guess what? He then has the mother to have babies again. So think a
Yes.
little bit. Think
Exactly.
about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And don't tell me that Yvette had cold and heartless. That's not cold and it's business. Do you know
It's
how much for a
business.
pack of suture rate? One pack of suture is 6,000 Jamaican dollars. One pack of suture that I use.
There you go.
So
And
I must do
them why
that
you do all of
because
that
I
for
love
free.
animals.
Them, them why you do all of that for free.
Well, not me. Well, you're looking at the wrong person because I have children to feed, right, Mr. Henry? My
Hey,
kids to feed too,
yeah.
and my dad. And
Everybody, it's a business. You approach it from a business, then it's just a business expense. It's your choice to be in this business that you gonna need vets. You know what I mean? If you were in some other, if you were to run a store and the fridge broke down, you still have to repair the fridge.
I think
And this-
mhm.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Again, Ray, if if vets felt that farmers would pay them for their knowledge and their services, and agreed that as a client, you want to know that the service that you got or whatever helped you. On the flip side, right? But
Yeah.
if they knew that they were going to pay, I think the relationships would be better.
Yes, it's true.
I honestly think so.
It's true. I've heard many vets that are reluctant to help people because of that, because people do not honor their side of the deal. You know what I mean? I don't know a lot of vets. You know what I mean? When we needed a vet to help our dog, we had to have a vet call a vet to call a vet to vouch for us before them look at the dog.
And that's bad, eh? That's bad.
It was yeah, because we weren't dealing with a lot of vet. We only dealt with like 3 vets the whole time, and we never had a dog issue. So we're like, okay, who do we go to? And we had a vet, which is a friend, call another vet in town to call a vet in Senton to say, yo, deal with them people. Them are good people.
Yeah.
It was like, are you serious? Yeah. And the man said, yo, you better get here within an hour or else we can't help you. And he had pictures and videos of the condition of the dog, but to him, yo, I am gonna do all that work and I may not get paid. Yeah.
I
But
had
he helped.
we have some goats in some clinics now, right? Right? We have a goat. One of the best clinics for me is JSPCA because
Mhm.
I used to work there a long time ago. But anyway, I do a lot of cases out of there for them. And we had a farmer who came there, dropped off his goat, and wanted us to see it. So we came and we consulted there. And the farmer is asking the attending vet. I wasn't there as yet, so I came after. Is asking the attending vet, can you show me how to do IV lines so I could do it myself? And I'm like, she looked at him and says, why would you want to do that? Oh, so I can help my own goat. You see, the first class I had in vet school, and I hope people understand what I'm going to say now. You know what the lecturer said to me? All of us in his class, first lecture I had. He says, what makes a vet different from a layman? So at first everybody said, oh, a vet could do surgery. He says, no. Oh, a vet gives medicine. He said, no. And we're going on and we couldn't get it, right? But then if you really listen to what he says, this is actually the answer. He says, you know what? Anybody could do surgery if they're taught well enough. Anybody could do medicine and stick an animal or administer medication if taught well enough or told what to do. You know what makes a vet different from the layman? So we're all waiting on this great answer, and it's true. The vet knows the how, the when, the where, and the why.
Yep. Goes right back to what I was saying about taking advice on the internet,
Ah.
on the
So, you
social
know what?
media
All
platform.
of you as
You
farmers
don't
are
know.
well trained enough to administer medication. But do you know which one you choose? Why? because this bacteria works with that one and not this one? Do you know that if you administer Banamine and the animal is dehydrated, you can damage the goat's kidneys and then it dies? No, but we learned all of that. We spent 7 years in school learning all of that. Do you know that there are about 10 different IV fluids you can administer? And if you administer the wrong one, okay, you can put up an IV line. I can train any one of you to put up an IV line. But if you put up wrong fluid for the wrong condition, you'll make the animal worse and they'll die.
Yeah.
So
And
the vet
IV
knows
is
the
direct.
how, the when, the where, and the why. Why are we doing it? How are we going to do it? Why are we doing it? When? What's the best time? All of that. So that's why. And we spend 7 years learning all of these things. And there's a reason why it's 7 years, because it's a hell of a lot of learning. And
There
that's what
you
I'm
go.
trying to tell you. I'm telling anybody, I could train anybody. I could train anybody to do IV lines and stuff. But then you're not going to know which fluid you use. And do you put potassium in the fluid? Or do you put dextrose in the fluid? Or is it the chloride imbalance? Is it that this?
That goes exactly what I was saying right off the top. Do you know the situation? Do you know how to do it? Do you know why you should do it? Why these animals? Why you the animals should get oxyvet or Benamine or whatever? What is the condition of the animal? How much the animal weigh? What is nobody knows this. Them just look at a video or a picture and for them experience I go administer medication. Do not take prescription from Facebook groups or the internet. It is not the safe thing to do, and the people that were issuing it should stop
I see
because they're
somebody,
not vets.
if he paid so much for the goat and you refuse to pay for service, not adding up. I agree it's not adding up. But that's the truth. That's what really did happen. And
Yeah,
for the life of me, I can't understand it. And then I said to him, okay, you know what? I'm willing to come up there and pick up the goat. Seeing it's going to die anyway, I'll come pick up the goat. And if the goat recovers, I'll do everything. If the goat recovers, I promise you, I will give you back the mother and I'll keep the kids. And he also told me, no.
yeah. Well, that I
And
guess the
3
animal
days
is not
later,
worth that.
3 days
It's not
later,
valued
the
that
goat
much to
died.
him.
3 days later, the goat died.
Yeah, the animal is not valued that much to him. You
When
know
he
what I
paid
mean?
200,000.
Well, him have another 250 sit down somewhere. I won't say it's in a bank anymore. Maybe on that bed now because can't put nothing in a bank.
Yes, it, Ray. I mean, I think we need to, what we can do maybe is at our next meeting, if we have a
Mhm.
meeting or something, we can try and invite some of the vets there. And, maybe you all can plead your case, farmers can. But I mean, really, you have to respect the vets in that they're a little bit tired of it.
No, I am a big supporter of consulting your vets, dealing, have a close relationship with your vets. I've talked about it many times on this show. You know what I mean? Darren on here, where am they? He and I have back and forth on this show about consulting vets. And him know that everybody here know that too. Because I understand farmers need to know how to help themselves. But nobody I know is gonna start administering medication to them sick child without somebody telling them how to do it, what the prescription is, and when to take it, and how much to give. Nobody's gonna do it. Nobody's giving no kids their pills to take unless it's a headache pill that says, okay, take 3 a day. But if you get antibiotics where them say take it X amount for X amount at certain times, for a certain length of time, like how many days, whatever. Nobody's doing that to their child. They're gonna go see a doctor, and the doctor is gonna give them advice. So it's the same principle that applies. It's only that you're in business, so you can make a decision, a business decision. Is it worth $30,000 or whatever to do this surgery, or I can replace the animal with a healthy animal for that $30,000. If your animal is $250,000 and the vet say, "Yo, I'm gonna charge you $25,000 to fix this animal, to get this animal healthy," then the 25,000 is worth it.
It's not as expensive as people think to take an animal to the clinic. It's not as expensive as people think.
Yeah.
A goat went into the clinic. It got it got a blood transfusion and some other fluids and stuff like that, and it came up to 27,000.
And guys, since everybody say when call the people from the diaspora, $25,000, I'm gonna do the math. Hmm? What? 27,000? Okay, let's do the math here. Right? That is $180 to save an animal's life. $180 to save an animal's life. You think you get that the deal anywhere in a foreign? All the people in the diaspora that's on here right now can give me a thumbs up if they can get a surgery done on their pet or any animal
No, it was not
for
surgery. It was a blood transfusion.
$180. It was what?
It was a blood transfusion. That was not surgery.
Okay. Yeah, well, a procedure. A procedure.
But
Any procedure.
again, Ray, a lot of the clinics will do a payment plan, or the vets might do a payment plan. But again, it goes back to trust and integrity. If you
Yes,
say
it's
you're
true.
gonna pay, then you damn well better pay the person.
Better pay. Yeah.
Right? If you say you're gonna pay, you damn well better pay the person. Right? That's all I'm
So
saying.
here's a
Once you
question.
establish that,
Mhm.
way where you say, okay, maybe I can't pay all, can I pay you? And if you follow through with that, you really think the next time you call the vet and say, so, doc, you know that they're not gonna do it? Come on, they will.
Yeah. I don't know any vet that's in this business of not saving lives. That is the plus in dealing with these people. They want to save the animals' lives. They want to make sure the animal don't suffer. But at the end of the day, it's still a business. They still gotta use supplies that they have to purchase. They have to their time. They went to school for this to make a living out of it. Here's a question or a statement, Dr. Young, where this Terrence Wright says these are the reason many drugs are not ineffective. A lot of misuse, over and under dosage. So
Yes,
you wanna comment on that?
yes, correct. 300% correct. That same goat that came in for the blood transfusion, guess what? They dewormed it with ivermectin. They dewormed it with Levox. They dewormed it with everything under God, Dovatech, whatever you want to call it. And nothing was working. It had a red blood cell count of 0.02. And basically, it didn't
Hmm.
have any red blood cells, right?
Yeah.
This is the problem. Everybody is a Dr. Google and PhD Facebook. So, I
Hmm.
mean, we need to be more mindful of what we do and listen to advice from the professionals. And again, Mr. McCook tells me all, quarrels with me or calls me all the time and says, farmers need to establish a relationship with a vet. And that's the truth. Don't just call him when you have an emergency or hurt, but
Yes.
make them
They
part of your plan, make them part of your management team. This is what I want to get done, this is whatever. And then so that when you call it, they have an idea of what's going on at your farm,
That's
right?
true. We talk about it a lot here.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a relationship. You have to have a relationship where they will actually look at your messages and not just link them when you're a problem. You know what I mean? If you see on Facebook at them birthday, send them a happy birthday. If you haven't seen them or
Probably.
hear from them in a while, send a message, say, yo, you're good? Everything all right with you? And you don't have a problem. You don't have a sick coat, but you just want to say, hey, you know what I mean? Hi, hope you everything's well. That's what building a relationship with a person is. You know what I mean? You doesn't have to have a problem. You just want to know, say, yo, you good? And so they recognize you. They know that it's not just when you have a problem you link.
So maybe what we can do is the next vet. There's another vet meeting coming up. It's every quarter we have a meeting,
Yeah.
and I'm on the executive try to help out and stuff. So maybe it might be a good time. Um, for maybe we can do a little presentation. I can do a presentation, or maybe we invite one or two of you farmers to the meeting, so y'all can plead your case. But then again, you're gonna hear, are y'all willing to pay?
Yeah, but I don't know what case there is to plead for though. I think for me, I would go to the meeting just to understand how the vets them operate and what are the guidelines, what are the rules of engagement. So you can go we can come back to the farmers and say, look, this is the situation the vets are dealing with. This is how they would like us to engage with them and deal with them. And we will get better service from them if we operate in this manner.
And in a professional manner. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
it's
I
a business.
think, yeah, I would definitely accept an invitation to go at your meeting and understand what
No,
you guys are
seriously.
dealing with. And
Yeah. Um, you know,
yeah, I will gladly be there and get to understand how it works, what the vets are dealing with, especially vets that are dealing with our sector, because it's not a lot of people like you, Dr. Young, not a lot of people, vets that are, the Dr. Youngs, the Dr.
you know,
Craig,
but
yeah.
like I said, I'm being honest, every time, a lot of the vets see a goat, you know what they say? Okay,
Hmm.
no pay. That's
No
exactly.
money,
I'm telling you, Ray. I'm telling you. And
cause goat a poor man animal.
when I went to when the goat was being checked into JSPCA, they call. I had to call ahead and tell them this goat is coming in. This. And the first thing the manager said is, Gabby, are they going to be paying? Because this sounds like a lot of. I said yes, so they're gonna pay, right?
Because goat a poor man animal.
Trying to paint farmers bad, but that is the reality.
That see Darren say him love you, but you can't speak for all vets.
Yeah, but I see Irie Farm says I had an emergency with one of my animals, could not get a hold of a vet until after 9 a.m. Again, put the animal in your car and take it to the vet clinic. They'll deal with it. They're not going to turn you away. Why is it that you all think that vets must come to your farm all the time? It's not going to happen.
I think you
You
know what the truth
know
is.
what it costs to
People,
get a farm visit? Do you know that it costs minimum in traveling about 12 grand? So put the animal in the car and go. I don't know which parish you're in, which vet clinic, which parish you're in. We posted the listing of all the vets and the clinics. Put the animal in a vet
hmm?
in a clinic and let's
Yeah.
go.
Okay, we will find all the locations, the list,
Well,
and
okay,
we will post them.
there's a clinic in St. Mary, but there's JSPCA at Winchester Road, and I was there to this morning at 9 o'clock, and they will take your animal. I can tell you that they will not turn you away. And JSPCA is open every day.
You say
Yes,
12K
12,000
to
to go
travel.
travel. Yes, 12,000 to travel. Yeah, diesel, gas. Luckily, Nutrimix subsidizes my own, so I don't charge for traveling really.
Okay, farmers in Jamaica, I want you guys to understand how spoiled we are. Like, there's no free vet service anywhere else but Jamaica that I know of. Maybe
Yes,
other
Sam Gordon told
smaller.
me we spoil them. Sam Gordon
Yeah,
tells me all the time we spoil them.
like people here in the diaspora who will tell you that them not even answer them phone if there's no money on the other end. I'm telling you that vet on call. Are you kidding me? If a man answer the phone, you're getting a bill. If he has to answer the phone and give you advice, you're getting a bill.
Yeah, that's true. That's true in the US.
Yeah,
If they answer the phone and they talk even to you, you're gonna get a
you're getting a bill. So you can't, we are spoiled to actually have what's quote unquote called complimentary vet service from feed companies.
but that's
Because if you
not for ambulatory. And again, let me be real clear and define. That is not for ambulatory services. It is for herd health management,
went, yeah,
right? Because again, I keep telling farmers, don't call me. I might be in Lucy Hanover and we want me to be in St. Mary. I can't do that. Right? I
yeah,
can't. So you need to have a relationship with a private vet when you have problems like that. And again, if you can't put the animal in a car and take it to the vet clinic. I
Darren
don't
always have a
understand Irie vet, Irie goat farm. They only open at 9. Okay, but what emergency could that be? Was the animal bleeding out or something? I don't know.
Darren always have a comeback for you, you know. He say
What do
it's
you
not
think?
spoiling, it is a symbiotic relationship. Ah, really? I beg to differ, but what am I? Just a little good farmer, but I get.
Yeah, but I think that no. Do you know okay? Somebody says pet insurance. Do you know the vets came together, the JVMA, Jamaica Veterinary Medical Association, to try and establish pet insurance? We did. We tried that, and again, didn't take. People laughed and said, "Why are you bothering with that?" Sagicor tried it.
Um, well, I'm pretty sure vet insurance will work for the urban sector, uptown.
If the animal had a
But I
uterine
don't.
prolapse, a uterine prolapse is not an emergency. You could get it to JSPC and they would have put it back in.
Yeah, there is straps for that.
You could get it back in as the whole thing came out. You could get it, travel it, take it to the clinic. You could have been St. Anne. Dr. Anderson is there. He could have done it. I know he can do that. And also GSPCA. And I was there up until 11 o'clock this morning. From 9 to 11, I was there. So.
And there's a strap that you can buy for that, right?
Yeah, you just have to wrap it up again. If you have a relationship with the vet and the vet knows you, what I would have said was, if you had a uterine prolapse, depending how much, I'd said, okay, get a towel or something, wrap the towel, wet it a little bit to keep the area moist, wrap the uterus, whatever is coming out, just wrap it with a towel so you keep it clean, keep it moist, put the animal in the car and get it to the clinic. And we'll put it in. But
There
again,
you go.
that will have, again, that's having a relationship. Because by then I know who you are, right? I know your competencies. I know the person. I'm saying, okay, this is the farm. I know how to explain it to him. I know his or her competencies, and then I can explain you what to do. But if I don't know who you are, you know how many calls I get? Oh, Doc, I got your number. Ray. So you can tell me what to do? I'm like, I even know who the hell you are. How can I tell? I don't know who you are. I don't know your competencies. I don't,
And you don't understand. You don't have an understanding of the farm itself. You know what I mean?
iGoat farm. I'm not trying to point you out. You brought up a case. So I'm just showing you how it could have been solved. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to uh, make you look bad or anything like that. I'm just showing you if you had a relationship with a vet that you established, these are the things that should happen. That's all I'm saying. It's same with my pediatrician. My pediatrician is my best friend for my boys because she knows when I call her, if there's a problem, she says she knows my competencies. So she says, Gabby, do this, do this, do this until I can get to see them. That's all I'm trying to say to you, iGoat. Establish a relationship with a vet that you choose, right? Or that's good for you, right? That's good for you. I don't want to make you look bad. I was just using you an example. Is that these are the things I'm trying to say. If you establish a relationship with the vet, they have understanding. And all of us as vets talk to each other. So if one of them is your vet and they don't know, and they know this time, they'll call me. Everybody knows I do goats, right? So we're close to that, and they'll call me and say, hey, Gabby, I have this farmer, blah, 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 blah. What do you think? And I'd say, okay, tell them wrap it up and get it to you, right? That's what
Oh,
we do.
that
We all talk to each
Howard
other.
wants to know how long. Howard wants to know how long it takes to build a relationship with a vet. As long as your money can run. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. But I think how long it takes to build a relationship with a vet, I think it's based on your charisma, really. Because Trudy can build a better relationship with a vet faster than me. You know, like because I'm like straight to the point type of guy, and Trudy will be offering wine and cheese and them things. I'll be like, yo, the
No,
goat's
but look
over
at what
here.
Trudy
Trudy's
did.
like,
I met
you
Trudy
want
before I
coffee,
met you,
cheese?
Ray. I
Yes.
met Trudy
Yep.
before I met you. And Trudy called me up. Of course, she said, oh, I heard about you, blah, blah, blah. I need to come to your farm. I'm like, who the hell is this crazy lady? But anyway, and guess what?
Hmm.
Trudy found herself down by me
Yep.
and arranged
Hmm.
that. And then she says, can you come by me? So I was
Yep.
like, okay, you know. But again, that's what I'm trying to say. It's about relationship building, networking, and understanding. And again, guys or peeps, you're gonna have to pay for that. You have to pay somehow or the other. You pay one way or the other, right?
Yeah. It's simple. Communication. Communication. It's important to communicate with people and build a rapport, discuss things of like minds, you know what I mean? Things that you're mutually interested in. And you can build a relationship on that. It doesn't have to be when there is a problem. You know what I mean? Like when these things are going and you go to Denby, whatever, make sure you go find Dr. Young. Find out with Dr. Craig there, find out with Dr. McHugh there, whatever. Go say hello. Go say thanks for your help. Thanks for me. We talk on the phone and you help me, or you came by me one time, or whatever it is, or somebody introduced me to you here or there. Go put a face to the name and build a rapport. That's what it's about. And that person, when you text them or message them and say, I got a problem, they remember, say, oh, that's the guy from so and so. That's the guy from whatever. Good people. I will figure it out. I'll give them some assistance. I can help them save them animal or give them solid advice or just be straight say, yo, you need to get that animal to the clinic.
I go, no, you don't have to offer me any wine and cheese to build a relationship. I don't even drink, so I don't drink alcohol. So it's not. I mean, just you don't have to bribe. It's not a bribe or nothing like that. I mean,
It's just
it's just
communication, man.
it's just communicating and realizing. Guess what? The first visit you might have to pay. Yeah. Can you come to my farm and set up a herd health program? Don't call me for an emergency. Not me necessarily. I'm saying that, right? Can you come to my farm and see what's happening? right? Can you tell me what the charge is going to be for you to spend an hour or two? Da 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 da. That's what it is.
There you have it. That's
You
it.
know, that's how it works. That's to me how it works. I mean,
I
when
didn't.
certain people call Darren call me, what is it? 6 o'clock one night during curfew time, you know? But Darren and I have that
That's,
kind of relationship.
yeah, because he prays for you often.
Well, I need lots of prayers. I need lots and lots of prayers.
Well,
Same
you know
thing.
what? You can't you can't
Howard
get enough
calls me
prayer.
just to call me sometime. We talk
Hmm.
about soccer and football. Say we're gonna
Yeah,
get a team to come down. We want to get a Nutrimix team to come down for the Middleton Cup. He didn't call me for anything to do with goats,
yeah.
you know.
There you go. Hmm. That's
But he
that's
better
what we're
to buy
talking
Nutrimix
about.
feed.
That's what we're talking about. That's building a relationship. That's trying to, make sure you stay in touch, and when you really need help, the person is there to help, because you not only call when you have a problem.
But we did well. We decided to because we've had so many more calls to. Dr. Craig and I said we'll do some work out at JSPC. So if
Hmm.
anybody really does have an emergency, we kind of made an arrangement with JSPCA because I both of us used to work there, and we
So
still do volunteer.
when
I
are you there?
volunteer.
So
No,
when are
no,
you
not
there?
a regular. They'll call me if they need me. Not a
Oh, they
regular.
call you when you. Okay.
Yeah, they'll call me if they need me. And call me, of course. And again, if I'm in Hanover, I'm sorry, I just can't make it back for Hanover. But again, we're trying to train the vets there more, the younger vets there, in certain things that they're comfortable doing, right? And again, if you see more goats, you're going to be more comfortable seeing goats.
Yep.
Why you think they do dog and cats? Because they see dog and
You
cats
see a
every day.
lot of dog or cats. Yep.
Right. So if they see goats every day and they see goats coming in, they're more likely to do it. Right. So, and again, we were less of them, but we decided, we spoke with Karma JSPC, and we'll be doing some work out of there if there's some major things happen.
Yep.
That's
Well,
in Kingston
that's good. That's good. So guys, remember that JSPCA
on
will
Winchester Road.
definitely help you on Winchester Road. And obviously, we have a lot of people here in iGo chat that has used the services over there with
They're
success,
not a pretty looking clinic. They're not pretty. They're not fancy, but
but they
they
get
get
the
the
work,
job done.
they get the job done, right?
Get the job done.
And if you're in the North Coast side, Dr. Anderson is a very good vet. Just
Dr.
remember,
Anderson is very good. Oh,
yeah.
Value Vets. The guy in Hanover,
Hmm.
Dr. Smythe, excellent. Super,
Yeah.
super young man. Dr. Smythe is really good in Hanover. Um, Dr. Foot, when you can get Dr. Foot in Westmoreland. Um, Dr. Cadogan in Maypen is really, really good. Excellent. He's my go-to person. In St. Thomas, there's now Dr. Hefes. He's in Moran Bay. Um, Also in St. Anne, besides Dr. Anderson, there's Dr. Cole. She's really good too. She does some work with us sometimes.
Beside Dr. Anderson,
Yeah, she's with Dr.
oh,
Anderson too.
oh,
Yeah,
she's good. Okay. I didn't realize there was another thing there. Think we lost her. Huh? Yeah, we should get a list. We should put together a list of all these vets, and post them. And remember, guys, to establish a relationship. And I think that's where we can end this on such an amazing discussion. No hard feelings to anybody who catch feelings. Big respect, love you to see him. Um, Irie, Irie Good Farm. Just reach out if you need help next time, and will direct you in the right direction. You know what I mean? So Dr. Young is back to wrap up. Hmm.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
don't know how I got off of it. But
Um,
so those are some very good options there.
yes. Yeah, I was saying we should put the list together that we can post to help to so farmers can,
But that's a good idea.
know where
That's a
they
great
are.
idea.
Yeah,
There are more
because
goat and sheep
goat
specific.
and sheep specific. Yeah, and keep in mind if you have a vet in your area that is inclined to learn more about goats, you can start them off with some basic goat things because the more goats they see, the more knowledge they'll get, the more they'll be inclined to do some research and start helping you more with smaller things and consult with them other vet friends about bigger things. You know what I mean? We should try to get these vets more familiar with small ruminants care because everybody
Mhm.
there's a whole heap of goat in Jamaica, poor man animal, and it's underutilized the resources that's walking up and down all over the place, underutilized resources that we can definitely harness and make a economic impact in our community. All right, Dr. Young, thank you very much for hopping on.
Yeah, but don't
As
bash the vet.
always,
Try and have a
don't
relationship.
bash the vet.
Take over, don't bash the
No,
vet.
that
Have a relationship with the vet.
you can't say nothing. Well, Doctor, anything if you rub Dr. Young wrong, be prepared, that she'll
No,
come at you with
no,
full force,
no,
So,
no,
so all y'all who think you can run on your mouth and call up people's name, keep Dr. Young's name out of your mouth. Because
no.
if you ever, this is a platform I will provide for Dr. Young to come defend herself every time.
I don't need to defend myself. No, I'm just saying there's another way of looking at it, please. There's another way of looking at it, please.
Okay.
In that really, and it's something I wanted to say for some time. That's why I did put up the post with the goat that had the blood transfusion.
Yeah.
That, really, I think people need to understand there's another way of looking at it too. I understand, I do empathize with you farmers. I do. And I understand what you are saying. And sometimes, let me tell you, I felt really like over the Christmas, I was super sick. And my guys, I had to take off the phone, and my guys made sure that nobody called me because I was that sick. I was really badly sick. And,
Oh,
I
because
felt bad.
I did call you between New Christmas and New Year's.
Oh, I was really sick. I was pretty
Hmm.
badly sick. I picked up RSV virus, and I was really sick. I was really sick.
Is that a new name for COVID?
No, it's another
Oh,
one. There are three of them
oh,
now. There's influenza, COVID, and RSV. So I
oh.
got that one, and I was really sick. Um, so sometimes the vet doesn't answer because maybe they're sick.
True. You never know.
Darren's friend who lost his goat, Darren did. I mean, I couldn't do it. I'm not, and I couldn't. My husband would have literally killed. My husband took away my phone and said, "Hell no" to everything. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, so maybe the vet doesn't answer because they're sick. Maybe they're human beings too, right? They have families too. They have bills to pay too.
Yeah. True.
And you're more likely to get a positive response from me. Again, I have my own farm too, Ray, right?
Yes.
And if you want my help, it might be better you come to my farm. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't, every time I leave to go help somebody, well, then I'm in trouble. I'll never get to do anything on my farm. When I hang up with you tonight, I'm going to go feed some baby kids. So that's my thing, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and
We
my
gotta
farm is
we
my
gotta
love
feed kids
too.
too.
My
Yeah. We
farm is
gotta
my
go
love
feed
too.
kids.
So you want positive, put the animal in a vehicle and get it to the vet. How about that?
Yeah. Drive it over to Trinjam and she has a heart. She'll help you. You just
Uh,
have to work out that thing. Work out that thing with Dr. Young. She'll always willing to help. Thanks, Doc.
yeah.
And thanks
Bye. Have a
everyone
great
for
night,
bye.
everybody. Bye,
Okay,
bye,
thanks again.
bye.
Bye. Everyone, thank you all for being here. This was a great discussion. I'll come out a pet peeve that I have, and then it's good that we ash this out and just try to let people know what the right, what the best practice is, you know. And thank you all for being here. Big up Mr. Makuk, big up Howard, big up the two Howards, big up Davil, big up Darren, big up Irie, a good farm from St. Mary, what, you know, major inputs. Thanks, Garth, Leon, everybody that's here, Chili Rose, everybody that's here, Natty, Tiana, everybody, Terrence. Thank you all for being a part of this, and we will see you next week. And keep us in your thoughts and prayers as we do for you. And positive vibes always. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see y'all next week. All right. Bless up. Enough love.